Hello students. So yesterday we were talking about that of the regular and irregular reflection. Regular reflection is what, student, in which a smooth surface is there, and on the smooth surface when a beam of a light falls on it, then that beam of a light will get reflected in other direction with the same angle. That is a regular reflection. Irregular reflection is that reflection in which, due to that of the rough surface, when the beam of a light falls on it, it get reflected with the different angles. So we can say they get spread to the different directions. Okay, so though image will be formed in case of the irregular reflection, but a proper image is formed in case of a regular reflection. Okay. Later on, we studied about the type of the images also. Now see here, there are two type of images that we have studied. Real image, virtual image. Real image is what? Is the image which we obtain on the screen, which we can obtain on the screen. That kind of an image is a real image. Virtual image is the image which we cannot obtain on the screen. That is a virtual image. Basically, in the real image, when an object is there and light starts coming out from it, it will going to meet at a point. Both of the light ray will going to meet at a point, and due to which there is a formation of the image. Okay. In case of a virtual image, the light, it seems that it is meeting at a point. It appears that it is meeting at a point, but actually they do not meet at a point. Okay, and that is why the image can be obtained on the screen in a real image, and in virtual image cannot be obtained. We can also say that the light rays which is coming passes through that of the screen, thus forms the real image. And the light which do not passes through the screen, that is a virtual image. Example, we have studied pinhole camera. It forms the real and inverted image. Okay. So in pinhole camera, behind the mirror, behind that of the camera, screen is there where a real and inverted image is formed. Virtual image, when you see yourself in the plane mirror, at that time the image which is formed is a virtual image. Later on, we also study about that of the plane mirror. So plane mirror is a smooth, polished surfaces there that we use in our houses. Now there are some characteristics of the plane mirror that we have studied. The first one, the image which is formed on the screen in case of the plane mirror is virtual. Okay, it means it cannot be obtained on the screen. Second, the image it is formed is not inverted, but it is erect. Okay. Third, the size of the image which is formed on the screen is same as the size of the object which is standing in front of the mirror. Okay. Fourth, the distance of the image behind the mirror is equals to the distance of the object in front of the mirror. So same size of the image is formed on the plane mirror, and same distance is also there on of the image in the plane mirror. Last point, last characteristics of that of the plane mirror, it shows the lateral inversion. If suppose we left our left hand, or if suppose we lift any of the object from our left hand, it seems that image is lifting his right hand. Or if we are lifting our right hand, so it suppose the image will seems to be lifting his left hand. So what does that indicate? It indicates there is a reverse of that of the side. Okay, and that is known as the lateral inversion. So the last characteristic of the plane mirror, that it shows the lateral inversion. Okay, uses. You can see the plane mirror, it is used in many places, like in case of a solar cooker, we use at our houses. It is used for many of the scientific instrument. Plane mirror is used, or you can see it is used in the periscope also, that we will study today. As well as you can see it is kept outside to that of the shop, so that the shop will look bigger. Okay. Now today we will start with that of the periscope. Periscope is what? It is a device by which we can see the things higher, the image seems higher than that of the normal. So we can view the image higher, we can view the things higher than that of the normal. That device we call as a periscope. So before we understand that where we will use the periscope, what is the use, we should know what is the construction and as well as what is the working, what is the structure, how it is made, what is there inside this periscope, okay, and how it is used, how it works, how can we use it. Then we will understand that where it is used. Okay. Now see here student, if we talk about the construction. So construction, it means the structure. So you see here, the first thing is there that there is a tube like a structure is there. You can see a tube like a structure is there in case of a periscope. This is also a tube like a structure. Here also a tube like a structure, and this one is also a tube. So a tube like a body, tube like a structure is there in case of a periscope. Second thing what you are seeing in this structure, that is this one or this one. So you are seeing that there are two plane mirrors. This is a mirror, this actually is a plane mirror. Okay. So two plane mirrors are present in the tube, okay, or in that of the periscope. Tube is there, two plane mirror is there. Then these plane mirror, you can see here, it is inclined at a 45 degree to the side of the tube. You can see here it is placed like this. Okay, so the angle between that of the tube to that of the mirror is 45 degree. Here also you can see here it is inclined at a, it is placed at a 45 degree to that of the side of the tube. Okay, so tube is there, two plane mirror is there, and it is inclined at a 45 degree to that of the tube. Now the another thing is there, and that is two holes are there. Okay. So two holes are there, which is first hole is at the upper portion of this tube in front of the first mirror. We can say that the first hole, one hole is there which is in front of the first mirror, and another hole is there which is in front of the second plane mirror. Okay, so all these things are present in this plane mirror. Tube is there, two plane mirror is there, inclined at a 45 degree to the tube, and two holes are there which is present in front of both of the mirror. Okay, so now we will write it, what are the things here, then we understand the working also. So what are the things here in the construction? The first thing is, it is having a one long tube. So a long tube which is fitted with that of the plane mirror at both the ends. Okay, so long tube fitted with the plane mirror at both ends. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second thing, if you see here student, you can see the mirror are there. These two mirror are fitted in such a way that both are parallel to one another. If you see here, how parallel, madam? Yes, if you stretch it like this, or so you can see here these two are what? These are parallel to each other. It means the mirror which is inclined, which is placed or fitted at both the ends, that is parallel to each other. Both the mirrors which is placed in the tube are parallel to each other. So we will write here both the mirrors at the sides are parallel to each other. Okay. Now if you see the third one, that is they are inclined at a 45 degree to the sides of tube. Right? They are inclined at a 45 to the side of the tube. Another thing, the last thing is there, that is 2 holes are there. 2 holes in the front of both the mirror. Okay, so this is the construction of the periscope. Now when we see the working, student, how does it work? Now see here, if suppose an object is there, which is present at the upper end of this periscope, okay, like if this is an object, so from this object the light ray will enter into the periscope, okay, and the light ray will comes to the first mirror, okay, which is present at the upper side of the periscope. So light ray will comes from the object and strike to the surface of the first mirror. The mirror will reflect the light ray to the lower side of this tube. Okay, so it get reflected to the lower side of this tube where the second plane mirror is kept. Okay, as the light ray come to that of the second plane mirror, again it will get reflected to the observer. Okay, so from here the light rays enter to that of the first mirror, and this mirror reflect the light to that of the bottom where the second mirror is placed, and from the second mirror it gets reflected to the observer's eye. So basically you see that it works on the principle of reflection of a light. In the first mirror also the light get reflected to the other mirror, and in the second case also the light get reflected to the eye of the person. So the person who is looking the object which is at a higher level or behind that of the wall, then he or she can see with the help of this periscope, because this image is formed in this mirror from where it get reflected, and finally after reflection this image is formed in the eye of the person. Okay, so with the help of the periscope, by the principle of the reflection of a light, we can use the periscope, and periscope is used for seeing the object which is kept at a high level or behind the walls. Okay, so now we will see the uses of this periscope. A lot of uses are there, students. So the first use is we can see the object which is present at the other side of the wall. The uses: first is we can see the object present to the other side of the wall. Okay. Second one is we can see over the head of the crowds also. So second one is we can see over the head of the crowds. Okay. Then the third one is a soldier who is sitting in the trench we can see the activities or can see the enemy who is at that of the land or at the upper level. Okay, so a soldier sitting in the trench can observe the enemy above the ground enemy activities above the ground. So a soldier is sitting in the trench with the help of the periscope can see the activity of the enemy who is sitting, who is above that of the ground. It is used in the submarines also, student. So used by person sitting in submarine to see the activities over the above or over the sea level. Okay. Okay. So you see here it is used by the person who is sitting in the submarines can see the ships over the level or over the surface of that of the sea level, as well as it is used by the soldiers also to see the activities of the enemy over the or above that of the ground. So these are the different uses of that of the periscope and end of the chapter also. Now we will discuss the question answers given in the NCERT. Now we will see the question answers of this chapter. So you see here student, the first question is that we have to rearrange the boxes which is given below. We have to rearrange in such a way that it make a sentence that help us to understand about that of the opaque object. So the boxes are given here and they are not properly arranged. So we have to rearrange them so that it will give some meaningful sentence which is related to that of the opaque object. So these boxes is consisting of a sentence that is related to the opaque object and we have to rearrange it. Now see here, the first thing you can see in this box OPAQ, that is opaque. So the first one, I am writing the answer here students. So you see the first box is of OPAQ. UEO is the another box, so we will arrange it as a UEO. Then we will take another that is BGEC. And then that of the another, that is TSM. So you see here student, opaque, if you join it together you will find it is this opaque object. Now we will take this AKE. So opaque objects make, now one is there left, that is SHAD. Another box is there, the last box, that is of OWS. So now you see here, this by this we can rearrange it. The first one we will take this one, this is the first one, then second one, third one and fourth one. So by this we are getting a one sentence, that is opaque objects make, this is the fifth one, sixth, and finally the last, that is seventh one. So by this you can see, if you combine all these boxes, we will get a meaningful sentence, and that is the opaque objects make shadow. Okay, so this is the property of the opaque object, that they make shadow because they used to hinder, they used to stop the beam of a light which is falling on it. So opaque objects, they make shadow is that meaningful word which is present in this box. Okay, so you have to rearrange it and write the answer. Now we will move to the second question. Now we will see the next question of this chapter, and that is, classify the object into opaque, translucent, transparent, luminous and non-luminous object. So we have to classify all these objects into the opaque, translucent, transparent, luminous and non-luminous. Now how you have to write the answer in the copy, student? So you will make the different column. In the first column you will write the name of the object. So in that column you will write all these objects there. Then in the second column you will mention there, that is transparent. In the in next one you will write translucent, then opaque, luminous and non-luminous. By this you have to make the different columns, and then you have to tick it whether this is a luminous and non-luminous. I will show you. Let me explain all this, then I will show you how you have to write it. Okay. Now see here, if you see the first one, that is air. So air is what, students? It is transparent and non-luminous, right? So it is transparent but it is a non-luminous. So air is transparent and non-luminous. Water, if we talk about the water, we know that water is also it reflects the light. So it is also a transparent, but again it is a non-luminous. Piece of a rock. A piece of a rock is what? It is opaque. Okay. So piece of a rock is opaque and non-luminous. Sheet of aluminium. The sheet of the aluminium is a non-luminous as well as it is opaque. Okay. When we talk about the mirror, mirror is what? It is opaque and non-luminous. Okay. Wooden board. Wooden board is also what? It do not allow to light to pass through it. So it is also opaque as well as it do not emit light. So it is a non-luminous. Then polythene. Polythene is also what? It is a translucent. Polythene is a translucent but it is non-luminous. CD. CD is what? It is a opaque one. Okay. So it is opaque. Smoke. So smoke is what? If a pure air is there, then we can say that air is a transparent. But if dust particles are present, it will hinder us to see the things clearly. So we can say that we can see the things, but not very clearly as we can see in the pure air. So smoke, it works as a translucent, not opaque, but translucent, as well as it is non-luminous. Then the plain glass is there. So plain glass is what? It is transparent. We can see the things inside, or the light can pass through that of the plain glass. So plain glass is a transparent, but again it is non-luminous. Piece of a red hot iron. So it is iron. So iron do not allow light to pass through it. So it is opaque, but if you see it is a red hot iron, so we can say the fire is coming out of it. So the light is also coming out of it. So we will consider them as a luminous. So it is opaque but luminous. Umbrella, it is a opaque and non-luminous. Lighted fluorescent tube. So lighted fluorescent tube is opaque only but luminous. Okay. So it is an opaque one but a luminous one. Then a wall is there. Wall is what? Opaque. It do not allow the light to pass through it, as well as it is non-luminous. Carbon paper. It is a opaque as well as it is a non-luminous. Sheet of a cardboard. Opaque and non-luminous. Lighted torch. So lighted torch is opaque only, but it is luminous. Okay, because it emits its own light. Sheet of a cellophane. So cellophane is a transparent one. It is not opaque. So we will say that it is a transparent, but since it does not have its own light, so we can say it is non-luminous. So transparent but non-luminous. In case of a wire mesh is also a non-luminous. Kerosene stove. Kerosene stove is a opaque, but it is a luminous because it emits light. It emits fire. So kerosene stove is a luminous. Sun is the luminous. Firefly is also luminous because it emits light. Moon is what, student? It is non-luminous. You know that it reflects the light. It do not have its own light. So it is non-luminous. Flame of a gas burner. So flame of a gas burner is opaque, but it is non-luminous. So you can write it by either you can write it by like this air, and here you will write it as it is a transparent and non-luminous. Okay, so by this you can write it by putting the 1, 2, 3, 4 and writing that it is transparent or a non-luminous or a luminous, or you can make a column. Okay. So in this column you will write here the objects, whatever the objects are there, that is air is there, or water is there, or a cellophane is there. So all these objects you will write here, and if you will mark a tick there, if suppose you will write here transparent, then translucent, then opaque, then here it is luminous, and here it is non-luminous. So by this you will make a different columns, and in front of this object you will mark a tick so that you will understand that whether it is an opaque or a luminous. If suppose the air is there, so it is transparent, so I will put a tick here. So you will write here this is transparent as well as it is non-luminous. Okay, while in other you can put a dash. Okay, so either you will make a column like this, or in a very simple way, if you don't want to make a column like that, so you will simply write the answers in front of it. I think that will be easy for you to write it also. So you will make number it, and then you will write it like air is there, or second one is water is there. So we will write in front of the water, that is it is transparent and non-luminous. Okay, so by this you will write classify all the objects into the opaque, transparent, translucent. Okay, now we will move to the next question. So you see the next question, student, that is, can you think of creating a shape that would give a circular shadow if held in one way and rectangular which is held in the other way? So is it possible that we can get the circular shadow when we keep the object in a one way, and when we keep the object in the other way? So you see, student, if suppose I will keep this object like this, then what happen? The source of the light, it will comes to this direction, and finally what will happen? A circular image will be formed on the screen. But if I kept it like this, then what happened? Then the source of the light, when falls on it, the image which will be formed on the screen will be straight or erect. Okay, so when it will be like this, that is the side inclined, then the image will be circular because of the base, so it will form a circular image. And when it is kept erect, at that time the image which is formed is a rectangular image on the screen. So you can see here a cylinder is there. When you take a cylinder and keep it inclined at one side, then this, just because of this this circular edges are present. So because of the circular edges, the shadow which is formed is circular. Now when you kept it erect to that of the close to the source of the light, so when the light falls on it, since it is having the rectangular shape also, so we will get a rectangular shadow also. So when it is kept towards the edge side, then the edge, since it is a circle, then the image which is formed will be circular. If it is kept as erect, since it is having a rectangular shape also, thus the light falls on it and gives a rectangular shadow. Okay, so this is where we can found the circular shadow as well as the rectangular shadow when it is kept in a different positions. Okay. Now we will see the last question of this chapter of the NCERT questions. See here. In a completely dark room, if you hold a mirror in front of you, will you see the reflection of yourself in the mirror? If suppose you are standing in a dark room and you take, if you stand in front of that of the mirror and that room is dark, there is no light, is it possible? Is it possible to see any kind of a reflection in the mirror? Means, are you able to see your image in the mirror? Then the answer will be no, because for the image formation light is important, and since in a dark room no light is there, so no image will be formed. So there is no reflection will take place, and you know that the image is formed because of the reflection of the light. And if in a dark room there is no light, then there will be no reflection. And if there will be no reflection, then the no image will be formed. Okay. So for the reflection, light is important, and thus the answer will be no. So in a completely dark room, if we are standing in front of the mirror, then we will not able to see the reflection of our image, because the light is important for the reflection. Okay, and only then the image formation can occur on the mirror. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter. Tomorrow we will start with a new chapter. Thank you.